Hi guys, it's Miss Quinn again, and I am here to share a new story with you. We just learned a little bit about Moses last week on Sunday, if you saw the service, but that was when he was an adult. This is the story of Moses as a baby, which is really important because the Hebrew children were killed back in the day, and Moses was saved. And we're going to find out about how he was saved and what happened. So are you ready? Let's read. I am really excited. Moses in the bulrushes. Once there was a girl called Miriam who lived in Egypt. Her family were Hebrew slaves. There were many Hebrew slaves in Egypt working for the king. One day the king gave an order. There are enough Hebrews in Egypt. There must be no more baby boys. Uh-oh. No more baby boys. The king sent soldiers to all the Hebrew villages. And if they found any baby boys, they would kill them. Miriam's mother had a baby boy. What are we to do? Miriam cried. Miriam didn't want her brother killed. Miriam's mother hid the baby in the house, and Miriam watched over him. Shh, little brother, be good for your mother. Little brother, be good for your mother. But when the baby was 3 months old, he was too big and too noisy to hide in the house any longer. He's just too big now. Miriam's mother found a basket and painted it so that it would not leak. Then she wrapped the baby in a blanket and put him in the basket. Look, there's the basket. And when no one was looking, Miriam and her mother carried the basket down to the river and hid it among the bulrushes. See, these are all the bulrushes. Miriam's mother hurried back to the house, leaving Miriam to watch the baby. All day, Miriam hid nearby to make sure the baby was safe. Shh, little brother, be good for your mother, Miriam would say. Then, from her hiding place, Miriam could see some people coming. Oh, look, some people. They look like they're Egyptian. The king's daughter was walking on the riverbank with her servants. She saw something floating in the bulrushes. Fetch that for me to see, she told her servant. The servant brought the little basket to the king's daughter. It floated just like a little boat. The king's daughter looked inside the basket and was amazed. It's a baby boy, she smiled. The king's daughter lifted the baby from the basket, and the baby began to cry. He must be a Hebrew baby, said the king's daughter. Poor little thing, are you very hungry? Oh, he looks hungry. Look at him. Look at him screaming. It says, you can't see it very well, but it says, wah! Just then, Miriam jumped up from her hiding place. Shall I fetch someone to feed the baby and look after him for you? She asked. Oh, yes, that's a good idea, said the king's daughter. Oh, what's Miriam doing? She's saving her brother. Miriam ran to find her mother, and together they hurried down to the river. I will pay you money to feed this baby and look after him for me, said the king's daughter. And she handed the baby to his mother. Wow! So in the end, Moses' mom gets to help raise him anyway. Miriam and her mother were very happy. They took the baby back home and cared for him until he was old enough to go to the palace. The king's daughter was delighted. I will bring him up like a son, she smiled. I will call him Moses. So, hiding him in the bushel kept him alive from the Pharaoh. And then when Pharaoh's daughter wanted to keep him, well, Pharaoh wasn't going to fight his daughter. So Moses got to stay. And it's important for us to know that Moses ended up being the one who ended up leading the slaves, the Hebrew slaves, out of Egypt. So God had a purpose for him being saved. So now that we've read this story, what do you remember? Who was Moses? Why did his mother put him in a basket? How old was Moses when he was taken to the river? Where did Miriam hide the basket? What happened when the king's daughter came to the river? And when did Moses go to live in the palace? And remember, shh, little brother, be good for your mother. And this story tells us so much about how even sometimes our enemies can become our friends. I'll see you guys next week.